right, y'all.
We're back.
We're back. We're black and white. Randomz podcast. Almost said the reaction channel. That's crazy.
Yeah, go see
But
that too.
yeah, black and white Randomz podcast. Anywho, I'm T, also known as Sky. For some of y'all that don't know, this is Trish.
Mhm.
You know,
Among many other things,
this
but
is my
true.
bestie. But anywho, uh, so
Okay.
we pretty much intro a bunch of random topics and pretty much put our opinion on them.
Yeah, so we talk about different things every week. We might circle back around at some point. We're open to suggestions, so let us know if you have a request or a suggestion. Just to let y'all know, here comes the cat. So if you hear background noise,
If
it's
you
cat.
hear, you see her, cause she will hop
She's
up on
gonna
these
jump up.
chairs.
She's getting ready to.
And those of you guys that are listening, yeah, you'll probably hear her at a
Yeah,
point,
you'll hear.
or might hear us react to her. All right, so quick, Trish.
Yeah.
Trish, this first question is, what is a black job?
The dumbest comment ever made. Whatever job you happen to have, if you're black. I mean,
Apparently, because
I don't think there's like a set category of anything.
yeah,
What social media has done with that comment though is hilarious.
social media and took and ran down the block with it
Yeah, and
as they would.
it's so funny.
So,
Whatever you do.
that it's just funny to me because it's like, is there like supposed to be like a this
Like a
like a
category.
category
Yeah.
of like distinct just black jobs, like,
Right.
and maybe they're ones that black people work more than others, which I'm trying to figure out what the heck that would be.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
I feel
know.
like we work the same jobs as everyone else.
Yeah.
There's black surgeons, there's black lawyers, like
Hmm.
there's black judges, black
Absolutely.
politicians,
Yeah.
like what are we really doing? Like, I mean, and then if you're gonna go to other jobs, like, just like the Hispanic population, there's black landscapers. Not to say
Hmm.
that all Latinos are, landscapers or anything
Right.
like that, but it's stereotypical to say something like that. What is
Yeah.
it supposed to be, like a fast food worker? Like, I got like highly confused on that because I was like, yo, like what? Like, we most of America tried to piece together what he was saying, and it's hilarious online.
Yeah, I
Because
love what social media has done with it.
I
What
mean,
viral creators have done with that comment.
because it's weird, and then the lump in black and Hispanics, like that's
Yeah,
wild.
and I love
Like,
too that like that white people have been able to join in on the fun on this discussion. Like, did you see the one girl? She kept getting in her car. She was like, "So my black friend is a nurse. I'm gonna go take her job." And she gets in the car and she gets back in the car and she's like, "I don't have enough experience for that job. One of my friends is a lawyer, so she's running around
yeah, I
talking. I don't
saw
have enough
there's a couple of
education."
those
And
out there.
yeah, that one
Um,
though, she kept like resurfacing throughout the day because I think she dropped so many that my algorithm picked her up. But like, yeah, that was a dumb. That's a dumb. The dumbest.
man,
But
listen, all I'm gonna say is, I'm good at my black job. Like,
right, and I couldn't do it. So
man,
yeah,
but listen, black Twitter, uh,
Black
Instagram
TikTok.
posts, TikTok, man, y'all are hilarious, man. Some of the job listings that they came up with, man, hilarious.
Oh, really? Yeah.
The one chick was like the stove light operator or
Oh
something.
yeah.
I was like, what? Um, nah, some of them
Yeah.
are just hilarious. The nail technician, the lashes technician,
Yeah.
like I was just like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
one of them was like the organizer of the spades tournament or something.
Yeah.
I
And
was,
I think the same creator said the t-shirt coordinator for the family
I'm really, really over it
Yeah.
with in general, and they still going.
Yeah.
Like, still
It
going to
hasn't
this
gone
day.
away.
It's
That's
even
not going
crossover
away
videos of
anytime
like
soon.
black people trying to name Hispanic jobs
Yeah.
and Hispanic people trying to get the black jobs,
Yep.
man. Like, y'all are crazy out here. We can't take anything serious, but we really do need to be taking this next
Yeah.
election serious. But I'm gonna let y'all
Yeah.
live on that. Y'all vote for who y'all gonna vote for, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah.
That's not our lane. Um, all right, so how was your first experience at a black cookout, Trish?
It was. I don't young, so I don't remember a lot. But I remember my friend lived like around the corner. I could walk to her house. And I walked into that backyard and a lot of her family did not know who I was. And her father like had his back turned to me and she was in the house. So they were looking at me like you can't go in there because we don't know who you are. So finally when he realized I was there, he turned around and I think it was his mother. He told his mother, he said, "Oh, that's my white baby." And that was just the end of it. From there it was fine. But everybody was like, "Who the hell are you? We don't know you."
But it's funny because, like, to be honest, like, black
Very
people not really
stereotypical.
putting a ton of emphasis on a white person at the cookout. We just
No.
want to know who it is, who that. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
right. It was like, "Who
You
is
know,
that? We don't know who you like. We don't know who you are." And I was like, "I
and that's all
totally
it
understand
is.
it."
We don't know who you are.
Yeah, totally got it. I
Um,
was no problem. He just, "That's my white baby." Oh, okay.
I don't know. All I'm gonna say is that is hilarious. I feel like, even the first time you came to one of my family cookouts, like, it was real, like, chill.
Yeah.
Nothing like
Mm.
super crazy or
No, I've
whatever.
never been invited to. I'm sorry, y'all. The cat is literally, if you hear the cat, if you're not watching us,
Well,
she's all over.
we also just got back from vacation for 4th of July
How dare
weekend or
us
whatever.
leave her
And this
here?
cat is just like all over the place.
She's already super needy on a good day.
Oh
Oh,
my
there
gosh,
she's all
cat.
over tears. Oh, sorry, y'all. Um, yeah, no, I've never been to any type of event that's been hosted by a black family and never felt like I didn't belong there or I wasn't welcome there. Never.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's just I saw the question online. I was like, huh, interesting. I
Yeah.
wonder what that looks like.
Cat.
Okay, cat. She almost just killed me with the mic, y'all.
We're sorry, y'all.
Um,
Lay down. Lay down.
yeah, we might just cut that whole little part out and keep it moving. I'm
Lay
pretty
down.
sure she's got fur all over me. But anyway, um, yeah, like that's just is what it is. Like I
Yeah.
don't really see I don't think I've ever had like a problem at like any of my white friends like places like for barbecues, cookouts, whatever y'all want to call them.
No.
Um
I wish somebody would come.
nah, I
My
think
mother would have had an absolute fit.
nah, one of your family friends though was a bit like he was a bit a little much.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't nothing that I couldn't handle. I feel like
And it
I
was.
just brushed them off.
I didn't feel like that was particularly because you were black either. Just that
No,
person
but
is
he's
like
done it
that.
now twice for
Yeah.
the type of interaction that he has with
Right.
me is very like aggressive, like,
And
and I don't
that's
really know how to take it yet.
yeah. It's with
Um,
everybody in my experience. It's with everybody. So
yeah, it was like super like aggressive.
yeah.
Like I'm not sure why he's that aggressive. Um, but it does seem like it is like targeted towards me though. I will say that
I
because
know
like he'll
that's
come in and speak to everybody, and as soon as he sees me, first of all, because I'm black, like you just gonna dap me up. Like nobody else in the house daps me up.
yeah.
Not
No.
even her sister. Her sister's husband will like walk over and give me a hug or like
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's
like just
definitely different.
wild. But yeah, this one family friend like he got me on a little bit of alert. Let's just say like I wouldn't necessarily let him like grab me a drink or anything. Like he a little weird.
I,
Um
I don't. I know who you're talking about.
yeah, he's a little sketch when it comes to like and most of the time I'm the only black person at their, family's house or whatnot. So
Absolutely. You are. But if that's how you feel, like I can't. And that's another thing too that I think a lot of people need to understand because that's how she feels, and I may not have experienced it. I don't invalidate how she feels, and I'm not going to. If that's how she feels, that's it. That's all it is. That gives me something that I need to be aware of. It is my family's event, so that's something I need to pay attention to at an event I'm bringing her to. So that's something else I think a lot of people like in general just need to learn, like and start to like validate each other on.
yeah, because like my experience is my experience. It
Yeah.
might not be every black person's experience at a white family's household.
Mhm.
Like, and I have other white friends, and I feel like going to their house wasn't like that big of a deal
Mm.
either. I don't know, but also it probably depends on that family. And to be honest, like we've had friends in high school who also went to some of these are black friends of ours that have attended one of the white classmates we had in high schools home, and they had a rather interesting experience, and I'm gonna just label it as that because it's not my story to tell.
Right.
Um, but that kid was visibly not deemed to be any type of way. She went to school with like
Yeah.
predominantly black high school, like nothing crazy, but let's just say when they got to the house, it was some things was found out. But also for the particular area that this family lived in Baltimore
It was
City,
not.
this is like a well-known area, well, for back then, where it was supremely like racist. So we'll say that.
Yeah.
Which is hard to say for Baltimore City because there's we got some special white people in
Mhm.
Baltimore City in specific areas. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
Um, but anywho, moving along. Do you think people sabotage their relationships after continuously dating toxic people?
Absolutely. Because at that point, you're used to the toxic behavior, and you're used to responding in a way that you would respond within that toxic relationship. So you might find someone who's not that way, but you're so programmed almost to deal with toxicity that your responses become a problem. So yeah, I think absolutely you do. And it doesn't even need to be multiple toxic relationships. I think it could just be one. Sorry, y'all. Tierra's struggling with the cat right now. If you heard all that.
um,
Go. Because you
yeah,
can't just go, you can't just come lay down. Go.
and she's shutting a lot right now.
Back upstairs. Go ahead. Because
Um,
you being a nuisance now. Go.
yeah, so
Yeah, I think
um,
absolutely.
yeah, I could definitely see how like people do this because it's familiar. Like if the person's not crazy enough, if they're not thug enough, if they're not mean enough, if specifically like if we could flip this to like just the female to male like dating dynamic, there's girls that specifically like seek out the bad boy, whatever that means to you, which
Right.
we all have a definition depending on where you are of
Yeah.
what that bad boy is.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna tell you like this. That is absolutely like crazy. Like you need help, you need therapy past a certain point. It's one thing because people like the like when young girls start dating, or even when you're like a young female adult and you first start dating, and yeah, that bad boy might be appealing, but a lot of people try to blame it on the fact that they're young. But in all honesty, we need to look at why like you think that this person is appealing. Is it peer pressure? Um, is it the state that every girl like likes this dude? Because a lot of times females will get caught up in the fact that majority of girls actually like a dude, not the fact that you actually are interested in a guy.
Yeah.
It's himself. Like you're following the crowd, you following behind the crowd, and some of y'all actually just really like those type of guys.
Mhm.
They're appealing. They're they're interesting and never boring, according to you guys. Um, but also I got to thinking about this in the other extreme because super guys, super nice guys, the ones that appear to be nice,
Mhm.
also you find out through life that a lot of them have issues too. Like you got to find somebody that's like almost smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
Cause those guys that are too far the opposite way of the bad boy are almost just as toxic as the actual bad boy himself. Um, you got to find somebody in the middle.
Yeah.
It's that I'm trying to find, and it goes for guys too. Y'all chasing after girls that are somewhat, I don't want to say loose.
Mhm.
This is like a bad term, but like I'm not trying to slut shame nobody or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But like guys that are after those girls who are, or the ones that seem like they the bad girl, they supposed to be a bad chick or whatever she's supposed to be.
Mhm.
Y'all go after those types. We already know what y'all about. Like that, y'all in the fast life. Like you going through bodies and all that other crazy stuff. Like
Right.
you just as toxic, to be honest, because I'm not gonna say that you need to be strapped down, locked down, none of that crazy stuff. But if you're specifically seeking out people that you know are toxic and not trying to change it, 'Cause, like, you'll go through one and then go to the next, and this next person is just
Right.
like the first person. They have qualities that are just like that first per like, you're doing too much. Like, at what point as an adult do you decide, "Hold up, let me look at myself and see what the heck I can change?" Like, 'cause, like,
Mm,
I'm going through the same cycle of people.
it takes a lot of people a long time to
I mean, it really
realize
does.
that. But
But
it's like something has to trigger those people to realize that they might be the ones picking wrong rather than they just keep ending up with. Like I think it's like it's a process where you have to identify that you're picking these people that are doing these things, and it's not that they keep finding you. You're picking them. You're allowing them because that's all that you know. So like I think it's a lot of people just get tired of it eventually, and then they figure out, oh, I might be the one who needs to raise my standards, and then that's when
I'm
then they find a
like,
healthier
I
relationship.
think this is like a societal thing as well, because what I find out is, or what I found out, like, just being in life, and this is my experience. This might not be your experience, but females tend to get to that point a lot earlier than guys, but it's more accepted in society to let a male just be in his funk longer, if that makes
Mm,
sense. We'll blame everything else and we'll go, "Oh, well, I had experience at X age. I'm not trying to go through that no more." And then that turns into 10, 12, 13, 14 years later. And now you're trying to like get it together. And I feel like biologically men, could probably even get away with it because like you can still produce and have kids and want to settle down or whatever a little bit
for a long
later if you want to. But then for the female, it's not for her to be like that and still like be mid 30s or early 40s or whatever. Like it's like, oh, why she ain't got no kids? Why she ain't that? Why she's not this? And she's deemed as being all of these other things. You know nothing about this woman's
yeah,
life,
she becomes
how
this
she got to
victim
this
and she wants
experience that
every
she's
problem.
in, why she's this late on, why she's older in life and she hasn't had kids yet. Like, that's crazy to me that you
Yeah,
would
we
even
say it to a lot of
assume
people though
something like
too.
that about, and a lot of dudes do this. I hear, like, a lot of y'all on these podcasts, a lot of y'all on TikTok, like, assuming that these girls' lifestyles are a certain way or her personality is a certain way. But how about maybe she was focused on other things? And I know a lot of dudes don't really care about a female being focused on their career, um, if they got it like that. Because if you could help guide her along the way or you're financially stable and you're ready to take care of family, that's something different. But also assuming that she has ran into a guy that is like this in her lifetime, which she might not have. Assuming that she was readily even available to date any other guy at point
Mhm.
X points in her life. Assuming that this chick was maybe not married before, marriage did whatever, and then I've even heard guys online try to blame the female for her
Sorry,
failed
y'all.
marriage. If y'all hear the cats, they fighting because we got to
I'm sorry, y'all. We both saw that. If you're not watching, if you're listening, that's fine. We both saw the problem coming and
we
just looked
saw it.
over it and was like, oh, they're fine.
They're fine.
They don't hurt each other. Y'all making this look bad. They're fine. We promise.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think it's a lot of like blaming. Always people are always blaming the woman for being older, like you said, mid 30s, early 40s, or even older than that, and not married or even married and divorced without kids. It's not always that she has failed. She just might not want
No,
that.
but my thing is this: the female could also assume that about you in your 40s by you not starting to, because there are a couple of dudes out here.
From my
Sorry,
early
ladies, that
40s.
don't have kids that are in their 40s. Now I know it's unheard of, just like the guys say that it's unheard of for a lot of females not to have kids by a specific age, right? But there are some dudes out here that are in their mid to late 30s or whatnot, or even early 40s that do not have kids and,
Mhm.
they want a family. But also assuming that every woman past a specific age can't have kids anymore is like bogus.
Yeah, that's
Once I
wild.
found that 52-year-old lady had a kid, I said, you know what, I'm over it. Um, and we like I understand the risk of
Right,
a woman past a specific age.
right.
Like I get that. Um, but also let's stop assuming stuff about people before you even get to know them. Clearly, if you're attracted to a person and then you hear something like the one dude was like, "Yeah, like I ain't dating nobody with kids or that has a woman with a kid because she can't focus on me and XYZ." And to a man, and this is how men think. This man also has a child.
Yeah,
Like
what
this
are
is
you
a
trying to
wild, like
say?
straight wild. Like, sir, what are we really talking about? And like even his argument towards why the female why he couldn't date her, he was like, "Yeah, but like if you're a good mother, like you don't have time to focus on me." And she was like, "Well, if you're a good dad, you should
Right.
also
Thank
have a
you.
certain relationship with your child as
Right.
well."
This the mother being the
He
default
was like,
parent
"Yeah,
stuff,
but I don't
man.
bring my child on a date." And she's like, "Why would I have my child out on a date? Like, let's be like for real." And like his whole argument is set up, just, sir, just say you do not like women with children. Because
I mean,
for
that's a
you to try to sit up there and explain it, it sound goofy as hell. Like it
yeah,
didn't even make sense.
it does
Because
not.
my thing is this: you can have a preference. You are allowed in society to have a preference,
You are allowed
right?
to. Does it always make sense? No, but it's your
It's not
preference.
always gonna make
It's
sense.
not for everyone's
Because
going
for
to
him to
work.
sit up here and go, "Oh, I am attracted to this," or whatever it is, like, sir, like you doing too much. How about y'all just date people, sit down and get to know if y'all like the people first
Right.
before y'all start making
Before
all
you
these
start
damn
getting into it.
assumptions.
Right. Wo- Women being the default parent is just makes me so upset. And man, y'all gotta stop. Why are you talking about a woman can't focus on you because she's a single mother, but you as a father, a single father, should not have that much time either. Parenting should be more even than it is, especially once their child is old enough to walk and talk and not have to like some guys in potty training. I understand some women are very particular. I can get up to a certain age where a woman is much more involved. Past that age, there is no reason that men are not as equally involved. I'm sorry, in their
Mm-mm.
child's life. I don't care if you're with the mother or not. There's no reason you shouldn't be involved. None.
It
This
was just wow. It was him making up an excuse for how he would have ample time to spend with her. Like I like to me, you already sound like a
so
deadbeat dad.
you want your baby mother raising the kid when she's got the kid, and then you want this new girl raising the kid when you've got the kid. Basically, is what we're saying. You don't want to have to be a parent, an on duty parent. Okay,
Like
because that's what that
the
sounds like
whole
you're saying.
thing just sound really silly.
Yeah.
Like for real. I was over it. You hear me?
Hell
Like
yeah.
completely over it. Man, I don't know. Like y'all people out here, we gotta do better.
Mhm.
Like just date people and get to know them first. Like find out if you gonna like the person first before you make all these damn assumptions about how they might be raising their children or not raising their children. And you
Right.
might be missing out on a blessing because she said she was like only have one child. Like and it was just wow, especially for somebody else that has a child. Like you sound goofy.
100%.
Um all right, so here it is. Is it socially acceptable to be proud to be white? All right, hold on, let me give you a side note first before you answer this.
If you're not watching this, y'all should just see my face. Go ahead. Like what? Go ahead.
So, before you answer this, I'm
Okay.
going to preface this by saying
Okay.
the chick that stitched this video from this other white guy's video,
Uh huh.
she is a first gen Greek American, I believe. Or
Okay.
maybe I want to say she's first gen. All right. If not, she was born here very early on. Okay, from
Okay.
Greece. Now, her argument to why this guy, because the guy said, and I quote, he pretty much was along the lines of, "Oh, well, it's socially unacceptable for me to be proud to be white in America because other ethnicities get to be proud because they're of a specific ethnicity, right? Mainly black people." Okay. However, her rebuttal to this guy was, "Maybe you're just not ethnically sound enough." She was like, "Because I'm Greek, I say that I'm proud to be Greek." They've had Greek celebrations over here in
Everything's
America,
so great.
and all this other type of stuff. Like she's like, "I'm just proud to be Greek." She was like, "Oh." She was like, a lot of my Italian friends, they celebrate being Italian,
Not being white.
you know, and there were other ethnicities that were brought into these that are attached
Mhm.
to white people, right?
Right.
Um, but she was like, maybe you're just not ethnically sound enough or culture enough. Like you can't trace your roots outside of the United States, because your family has been here for X amount of time, and that's also okay. She was like, how about you just say you're proud to be American? Like
I
that
was literally
suffice.
getting ready to
But
say
you
that.
go ahead and answer
Um,
what you think.
we're gonna. This is an opinion based channel. You can disagree with us, but any comments, keep respectful. I do not think. No, no, I don't. I'm not proud to be white. I'm just me. I happen to be white. I think based on the history of this country, that statement does not hit correct. It does not hit right. It doesn't sound good. If you really digest it and you think about it, don't sound right. Because there's no culture attached to it here. Like the girl was saying, the Greeks have a culture. They have a heritage. They have a history. The Italians, the Irish, even the Germans, the British. Americans don't. We don't. So, what are besides the literal physical color of your skin are you referring to when you say that here? If you are referring to something, what is it? Because I don't know what you'd be referring to. So no, I don't think it sounds right when you say it if you born and raised in America. I don't think it sounds right. I don't I don't think you
No,
should
I
be.
mean, I don't really have an opinion on this because I'm not white. However, what I will say is when I first heard it,
Mm.
like him just saying proud to be white, first thing that popped in my mind was like the white power movement. Like
Right,
it,
exactly, because
it kind of just didn't hit right.
that's where that whole
But
sentiment came from. That's where it originated in this country.
um, and some people will make the argument on the other side of the house about the Black Panthers, and I'm like, that's not the same. The Black Panther movement and white power movement were not the same thing
No,
on either side of the house. It just was not about that.
no.
Um, but were there some things that happened on both sides that were like possibly like criminal activity? Absolutely.
Yes,
I'll say that.
yes.
But in the grand scheme of things, I really don't have one opinion about it or another. Like, I feel like, how about you just happy to be you
Yeah,
amongst all things? Like,
yeah.
be happy to be you. And to be honest, like, as far as black people are concerned, it's nothing wrong with us being happy about where we are, where our people came from, how we operate, the
Mhm.
talent and skills that we carry. Like, we're different from a lot of other races, not just based on physicality, how we look, but there's many other attributes that we carry, that a lot of other races just they don't.
Mhm.
We got especially black Americans that I don't want to say we're raised in the hood, but like we got our own specific language and flow. We see each other on the street and be able to communicate without even talking, bro. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot, you know, behind the scenes. Like we're very talented people.
Yeah.
We're blessed by nature, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
Not,
nothing wrong with that.
no.
But I also like think that there's other cultures out there that are very blessed as well, that have other skills. You
Mhm.
know, there's a lot of Asian folk, a lot of Latinos, like everybody brings something to the table. Like just be proud of who you are, not necessarily like the fact
What
that you
you
are
what you look like.
a specific whatever you are.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. As y'all can hear the cat
She's
back
got her
harassing
yay.
us. Well, one of them, the other one barely speaks, and if she does, she hungry. Like
Make
not
much
even
noise at all.
legit. All right, so
Okay.
this is a story time that I found, and I'm going to try to reiterate it the best I can. And I'm getting to a point at the end of this.
Okay.
Okay, so I was watching a story time, and the scenario was the chick was like a jeweler, or she worked at a jewelry store. She didn't name which one. So a couple comes in, right?
Mhm.
The guy's on one side of the store, female comes over, she's like, "Hey, can I get my ring clean?" And the girl's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, like I know how to do that, whatever." So she starts to go in the system and she looks up the rings. Right? She's asking, she's like, "Hey, whose name,
Uh-huh.
the ring under, yada yada yada." She gives her husband's information. She looks it up and there's two rings in there like 4 years apart from each other and almost damn near the same ring, right? Yeah, actually it was 3 years apart. So it was 2009, 2012,
Okay.
right? So the chick is like, I knew something was about to go down by the way the chick was like, "Oh, the one from 2009," right? So the girl, then takes the rings, goes off, starts cleaning them. She can hear a commotion between the couple at the front. As you can imagine, the guy never disclosed that. I don't know if he was married previously, but she was like, I could hear them talking about the other chick. Like he never let her know that he was married before. So this fool's been married twice in a short span of time, right? And then got the chicks the same exact ring, damn near, right?
Man,
Mm,
man, what are you doing?
right. So chick goes off on the guy or whatever, but the girl was like, I already knew it was some ish about to pop off beforehand. And apparently the guy like approached the chick that was cleaning the rings and was like, "Dang, like this is all your damn fault. Like, why would you even tell her about the other ring?" Like going off on her, right? And the wife, let's just put it this way, the wife left there with way more jewelry than she started with because he was buying her everything up under the sun that she wanted. And they left up out of there. So here's the point. The
Uh,
chick knew something was off when she saw both them rings in the system,
yeah.
but also the husband was not standing right there at the time when this information was dispersed. So are you following girl code during this whole event? Like, because she was like, "Bro, I'll just follow girl code," and I did my job because that was actually the policy. So what you doing? You know something about to go down, and you can see what's going on.
So clearly then
Cause
she
homegirl already knew it was something like fishy going on
so
when she
she
delivered.
so when she looked it up, right? Like I'm imagining looking
Hmm.
like I'm because I've worked in retail, so I'm imagining looking it up, and I see same guy's name,
Twice.
right?
Hmm.
Same, almost same ring,
Hmm.
however many years apart. Now there's two conclusions I would have. The first thing I would have thought was maybe she lost it and he replaced it.
Hmm.
The second would have been, oh, maybe this is number two, and then the first one was for someone else. But like I don't think that is something that in the capacity of my job that I could lose for something like that. I
Hmm.
needed to know because, like, if I need that job, I'm not saying anything. They came in happy, right? Like, we can assume because if they didn't start arguing until after they came in happy, I don't know why. I don't know why you even needed to say something.
See, this
It's
is
not
the
like that's
thing.
one of your friends. Like,
No, but she could have just asked her flat out without saying what years they were. Just asking her, "Hey, like, what year did you get your ring?" Because now you phrasing it a different way without giving away what you can see. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, like, she had the option to do that
yeah,
for sure. I felt like she purposely asked that question the way she did.
just to start drama.
Right.
I
She
think
knew it was about
it
to go
was
down.
yeah,
Like,
it was
flat out. You
deliberately done
already
to
knew it
start
was up. When you
absolutely.
did that, you knew it was up. Is it
Yeah,
you not getting ready to tell me, bro?
because clearly she didn't know, because if she would
Mm-mm.
have known, she would have said, "I received it whenever." But my thing also is, so y'all might not someone might not know this. I've been married. Your ring, right, is purchased in the purchaser's name, right? But when you give it, it goes into that person's name. So then both names are attached to the same ring, right? So they can look you up either way, either as the giver or the receiver. If she saw that girl's name only attached to the one, she should have kept her mouth closed. Because that means you only saw that girl's name on the one ring. And the other one, you shouldn't have even been concerned about. You can't get money off of it. You're not being asked to deal with it. I like
And that's just
you should
assuming
have just
that the proper protocol happened when the ring was given, because it might not have.
right. But like at that point, it should have been by this many years,
I
2012.
would
That
have
should have been
assumed
caught up on.
unless the husband was taking to get it done. Who knows? And I'm not about to assume all of that. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, like, how far is too far? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like, cause
right.
like at
That
what?
was
Cause
done.
like the
That
way
was
the
done
chick was telling the
maliciously.
story, it was alluded to like the fact that the chick knew, like she didn't know exactly what was going on, but she kind of had pieced it together when she saw that second ring in there. So
Yeah,
it's like,
I stay out of it.
I
It's
don't
not your
know.
business. I'm sorry, it's
It's
not
just
your
not.
business.
And I would have definitely phrased that away
Now,
where
if
it
you
wasn't
saw
a
one
commotion
purchase,
going on in the store.
now if you see one, wait a minute. So the girl, I think girl code would have been if she saw one pop up around 2015 and she's telling you they got married in 2012. Okay, maybe that's an instance where you might feel the need to drop the hint because that could mean there was one after the marriage, which is different. You saw one 3 years before she got hers. I wouldn't have even touched that.
Ain't no way.
There's no. I would have stayed out of that. Now, if I saw one come up after, I might have try to think of a way to drop a little hint to the girl. But I'm not doing it for a ring that came before.
I
I'm not.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say like
Mind your
y'all
business.
people, please just keep your business clean out there in these
Yeah, mind
streets,
your
because you
business.
never know. Like that could have potentially ended this dude's marriage
Right.
over something that he hasn't been with the chick. You know, he just didn't disclose it. Although I feel like that is kind
That's
of
something.
sketch. Cause
Right.
like, why didn't you
Yeah,
disclose
that's
you were
something that I think
previously
we should talk
married?
about.
I don't care if you got it or no. Like, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, like, that's something your partner should know,
I
just in
think
case
it
other
is.
things pop up.
Absolutely.
Um,
It is something that you should talk about before you
it is.
commit to someone else.
Um, but also that also proves to me that she ain't got no nosy homegirls, because this one right here would already done had this full information.
And
Anyway,
we'll save that
we
story
would
for another
already
time.
known. This Inspector Gadget over here.
And
I don't have no
I would
problem with
say
it. You just like
it has
Inspector
served
Gadget,
you.
you know. And she rather nosy. She gonna find your
I agree.
information out. Anyway,
Don't
so
be afraid though.
moving along. What's something you did poor growing up that rich people wouldn't understand?
Hmm. I don't even know if it's just rich people, but even someone whose parents have more money. We didn't have name brand design or nothing. And when we were growing up, it was becoming the thing to have all the name brands, and it certainly is now. We didn't have anything. No, nothing logoed, nothing name brand, nothing designer, nothing. Like some families were able to scrimp and save and make happen. We weren't even doing that,
Mm,
and school was hell
interesting.
because of it. But like we couldn't even make it happen because like food, everybody talks about food and all that, and we didn't have cable either. But like that was like the biggest thing that probably impacted the most.
Nah, I would have figured people that actually like grew up like around the time we grew up. We also had like illegal cable. Um, it was a chip you can put in a box, like things like that. Like,
We had a cousin who kept offering to do it for us, but my mother wouldn't let him
oh
do
no,
it.
we had that in my grandmother crib. Hoes
He
like
offered so
all the
many
pay per view
times, and my
channels, all
mother
that.
just refused. She wouldn't let him
And I
do it.
feel like the equivalent to that now is probably like the jailbreak or whatever on like the Amazon
Fire stick or
Fire Stick or
Roku or
whatever,
whatever.
and Roku, like you can jailbreak them. That's probably like the equivalent.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
I just feel like, but also stuff like, see, you went that route with like the name brand clothes. Like I feel like they would like that would kind of make sense. Like you ain't got the money to afford it. Why the heck would you be buying it? You get
Well,
what I'm saying?
yeah, but
Um,
there was also I think a lot of attitude of like people with that fake it till you make it or put on that front, and they would go and get it anyway and just deal with it.
Girl, I ain't even about to put the projects out there like that when we was growing up. I don't know if they still doing that, but like, you know
That
what I'm
was like the
saying?
thing
Like
that probably impact because like
selling food stamps
that was
that
like
go
the
get you
most
a new pair of
obvious
J's or
indicator.
something. Not
Like
all,
outward
and I'm not
indicator.
putting all people in the projects not like that. So it's not
Right. That was like the
subject
most
just to them. But
that was the most immediate thing that was noticeable. So like that was the thing that impacted the most.
yeah, probably. But you also grew up around a bunch of black people too. So like you already knew what was up. Like,
Right.
name brand was just whatever that mean to you. Um,
Mm.
but I also feel like stuff like eating sardines out the can,
Oh my god, my mother.
like
I can't even
do
stand
rich
the
people even
smell
know
of
what
them.
a sardine in a can
I can't
is?
stand the smell of them. My mother used to love them. The ones with the mustard.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
the ones with the mustard smack. I ain't even finna lie to you. I
I
feel
can't.
like it's the same way with them little the Vienna sausages. Like,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
bruh,
Mm-mm.
listen,
Me either.
we make a hood meal in a heartbeat, bruh. Something like crazy. Like my homegirl used to eat sugar sandwiches, bruh. When her family ain't had no food in the crib. Growing up, when I was in elementary school, I was like, "Yo, that's wild." It wasn't my experience. Thank God for my parents and my grandparents, whatever. But it was as far as food, we ain't never really want for nothing. Um, which is a blessing because I went to school with a lot of kids who, were in Section 8 housing and lived in the projects and stuff like that early on. Um, and it's crazy because a lot of the friends that I had, they lived in those places, but like even though I lived near the area or in between the area, like I wasn't necessarily in, like we were in the hood, around the
Mm-hmm.
hood, or around the hood. We wasn't exactly in it.
Mm.
We were always near it, if that made sense. Like literally, like you go two right to the left, and like we like right near the hood, but we not in the hood. Like it's
Right.
crazy. Like especially when oh my god, my grandmother lived like literally two right to the left from the one of the sets of projects out in Cherry Hill, Baltimore. That's all we gonna say. Well, we gonna let that go. Um, but I just don't. I feel like it's a lot of like stuff that they would not get or understand.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Having to prioritize bills or groceries. Never. They'll never understand that. They're never going to get that. But that's something that, like, that was a game that we were aware of really early that our parents had to play
I don't
was
know.
was was bills or groceries.
Oh, for sure. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like they wouldn't understand the EBT card either. Like how that specifically works.
No.
Like how I release, like I think it
Yeah. That's
released like the last name first or whatever. So like the first of the month when the first ones come out, that's like letters A through whatever, and then the second day is like
well. And
C through whatever or whatever. I don't know.
now I think it goes a lot by the number on the card that you have. So like now it goes
See,
by
it could
whatever
be.
number is.
I don't see. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like
They obviously. I think that's an obvious answer. Like not an obvious answer, but like the most obvious thing that rich kids are never going to understand.
definitely not like a EBT card.
No.
Mm. Oh God. Or how to properly make Kool-Aid. Cause some of y'all grew up making Kool-Aid and it is not the Kool-Aid that we grew up on. If you
No.
didn't call it red, purple, blue, whatever color it turned
Yeah. It
out
doesn't
being,
have a
you
flavor.
ain't
It's a
make no real
color.
Kool-Aid. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
If you call it by the flavors, no.
And I know it didn't have enough sugar in it for a fact.
Yeah. If you can call
For
it
a
by its
fact.
color, we know you didn't make it. We know you don't make it right.
Yeah. If you
No.
didn't call it by the color,
Mm-mm.
they're like, oh, that's great. No.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's perfect.
We be mixing packs over here in these streets. It's whatever color it comes out.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If you call them by the flavors, I don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
you done
Yeah. I don't
messed
want
up.
any. Mm-mm. I'm good.
Yeah, but we about to end that there. It was a little fun thing at the end. You know, not to
What's your favorite color?
not to shed light on, people in poverty or anything like
Yeah.
that, but
No.
it's just funny the things that, people did back in the day that would not translate over. And I
No.
feel like that's always going to be the case for the rich. Like there's always going to be a divide between the rich and the poor
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
Yeah. There is going to be. It doesn't.
Cuz growing up privilege hits different.
It does.
And I feel like growing up poor to a certain extent will build character if you take advantage of it, whatever that mean to you.
You can learn a lot of life skills, man. I'm telling you.
Bruh, you learn how to Jimmy rig some stuff in a heartbeat.
You sure can.
I'm trying to tell you, cause
You
like
won't be
even back in
hungry.
the day, if you can go back to our parents' generation, bruh,
You
them
won't.
trying to get like actual like service to their TV, putting aluminum foil on the
On
antenna,
their rabbit ears.
like crazy, just so they can watch TV.
Man, we used to have an antenna. We used to have tape on the wall so we could get proper service.
Man, all I'm gonna say is we definitely blessed to be where we are in life right now.
Yeah.
But we'll see you guys next time.
What's
Like,
your
share.
favorite Kool Aid flavor? No color.
comment,
What's your
subscribe.
favorite color?
Yeah, comment your favorite color of Cooley. Like, comment, share, subscribe,
Come
and
back and see us.
we'll
Check
see
out
you
our
guys.
reaction channel, Black and White Reacts,
Definitely check out the
with
reaction
Z.
channel.
Don't spell it right way. REAC. There you
All right,
go.
peace.
Bye.